All right, guys, let's talk about slope. Okay, now for these graphs, everything is proportional, meaning it goes through 0, 0. Okay, so the way you find the slope when you're looking at a chart in a proportional setting is you just choose the y and the x. The y goes on top and the x goes on the bottom. So the slope for this chart is 7 over 10. If you pick any of the other points, like let's say you pick 14 and 20, if you simplify it, they're both even, so you cut them in half and it becomes 7 over 10. So the slope is 7 over 10 no matter what. So in a proportional chart, you would just choose a point, y on top, x on the bottom. Here, the slope is the number next to x, so the slope would be 2 over 3. On a graph, you choose any point on the graph except for 0, 0, and it will tell you what the slope is. So if you choose this one, this is 2, 1. So 2, 1. Remember that y goes on the top and x goes on the bottom. The slope is 1/2. If you choose another point like this one, which is 4, 2, you would get, so 4, 2, you would get 2, 4. Sorry, I was off the graph off the picture for a second. So you get 2, 4, and you would simplify, and you'd get still 1/2. All right, let's move this up here. Let's move some stuff out of the way. Okay, so what if it's not proportional, which is every other graph? So what I'm about to show you works for all graphs. So if you weren't sure if it was proportional, and you're like, oh, I don't know, you could use this method I'm about to show you. Now for this one, you need 2 points. So you need 2 x's, so the first numbers are x's, and you need 2 y's, okay? So the formula is the change in y divided by the change in x. So remember, y goes on top, x is on the bottom. So you'd ask yourself, okay, so how does an 8 turn into a 5? Only using adding and subtracting. Well, to get from an 8 to a 5, you would subtract 3. So negative 3 is the y. Then, how would a 1 turn into a 3? Using only adding or subtracting. I would add 2. That's a positive 2. So this slope is negative 3 over 2. It's negative because only one is negative. If both of them were negative, it would become positive. If both of them are positive, it will become positive. But if only one of them is negative, it will be negative. So let's practice that again. See if you can do this one before me. Remember, y over x. So the change in y for this one is going to be negative 2 to 4. Negative 2 to 4 is up 6. So it has to travel from negative 2 to 0, then 0 to 4, that is 6 steps. So positive 6. Then 3 to negative 5 is down 8. Okay, so this one can be simplified. They're both even. We know it's going to be negative because one of them is negative. This is going to be 3 over 4. And that's the slope that goes through these 2 points. Now, another way of doing this that's more commonly taught is this formula, where it's y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So the y's on the top, subtract, and then the x's on the bottom, subtract, and it'll give you the slope. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So you set up the division and the 2 minus signs, because they're definitely going to be there. Then you grab the y's, which in this situation is the 7 and the 5. So 7 and 5. Then on the bottom, you get the x's. You put a 2 and a 1. 7 minus 5 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 divided by 1 actually can be done. In the other ones we did previously, you couldn't divide them and make a whole number. So these can divide and make a whole number. They're both even, so it's going to be positive 2. So the slope for this is 2. If I asked you to write this as an equation, you would write y equals 2x. Okay? Then, for graphing something that's proportional like this is, you'd start with 0, 0, and then the slope is 2. Remember, there's a 1 underneath, so it's 2 over 1. So it'd go up 2, Okay, let me show you the graph. I'll go up 2 and over 1, and I'll end up at the new point. So that's all you need to graph something, 2 points. Okay? What about this one here? Let's do that formula again. Line minus minus. You grab the y's, and they're going to make 2 and 8. Then you're going to grab the x's, and you're going to grab negative 3 and 4. All right? So 2 minus 8 is going to be negative 6. 3 minus 4, negative 3 minus 4 is going to make negative 7. They're both negative, which means it's going to make the positive slope of 6 over 7. This can't divide without making a decimal point, so I'm going to leave it in slope form, which is good because 6 over 7 is easy to graph on here. So remember, the first dot is 0, 0. So 6 over 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then over 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there, and done. All graphs. And that's it.